I'm super excited to be here tonight with the co-founders of Bolden Skincare, Ndidi and Chinelo. So it's my pleasure. Thank you both for joining me.
Pleasure is all
It's our
ours.
pleasure to be here and to talk to you.
So I'm super excited to get you guys together to, in particular, talk about like your SPF moisturizer because we're here in May, which is Melanoma Awareness Month and also Skin Cancer Awareness Month. And it's a particular month that's personal to me because I have my own story with skin cancer, like as well. And so we want to talk all things skincare, all things SPF, and we want to learn a little bit more about like you and the community that you want your skincare to serve. So I'd like you both to start off just by introducing yourselves, and then we'll get to how you guys know one another.
I'll start. So I'm Chinelo Chidozie. I am one half of Bolden Skincare, which is a brand Ndidi and I founded purely out of necessity and passion. I'll let Ndidi.
I'm Ndidi, the other half of Bolden, and Chinelo and I were actually married to brothers, so we're friends and family. And
Wow. Tell us
yes.
how that happened.
Yeah, we met, in the interest of not dating myself too much. we met in boarding school in Nigeria. We had Ndidi and I were in boarding school for 1 year before we transferred schools. She went to a different school. Apparently the school I was in was too tough for her.
A little shade there.
So she transferred out. And then fast forward, I want to say, Ndidi, how many years? Because it was after undergrad.
Yeah, I want to say another probably 12 years.
Oh.
We reconnected in
New
DC.
York.
No, in DC. We went for a party.
That's true.
We reconnected, and then we reconnected again in New York when we started dating brothers.
Yeah, we found out we're dating brothers.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
Brothers that we ended up marrying.
Yeah.
So I guess she was always meant to be in my life.
I love that.
And we have so much in common. The same age. I'm like a month older. We each have 2 boys. We each have 2 boys, the brother thing. We both have MBAs. Chinelo has an MBA from University of Maryland. I have an MBA from MIT.
Wow.
And so there's just a lot.
we find that we have so much in common. And then the brothers are really, you know how brothers could be just brothers. They're not only brothers, but they're really good friends. So we ended up vacationing together quite a bit. And that's really how the brand got founded. Because we were in Key West, Florida, spending the holiday, and Ndidi and I were walking the island. And we wanted to get sunscreen because we were spending a lot of time outdoors. So we just, hopped into a pharmacy, picked up 2 tubes, went back to the hotel that we were staying, put it on, and, regardless of how much we tried to rub it in, it just didn't work. And that was an aha moment for us. Just the frustration of, finally, realizing we need to wear sunscreen and then, embarking on that journey and it doesn't work. We thought, we can't be the only ones experiencing this. So we took a quick poll of our friends and close associates, and we saw it was a common problem. There's a lot of trial and error. You'd have to go to a lot of subreddits to find out which ones worked for people of color, darker skin tones. And we thought, we probably could figure this out. I spent all of my day working in finance. I used to be a bond analyst in New York. But if I could figure that one out, I'm sure we could do something here.
You could do this.
And it was also a period of a lot of change for us. Chinelo was transitioning. I think her company got sold, and I worked for a biotech, and they were moving our division to a different state. it was just like a perfect time for us. And we just, we took a leap of faith, and that we both have MBAs, so it's the entrepreneurial spirit has already been in us for a long time,
That's
and
amazing. And then
yeah,
did you take the leap and leave finance,
yes,
marketing,
we did
and go full time to this?
full time.
Wow, you really did.
Our partners were very supportive. Yes,
Yeah.
we just jumped right into it.
Incredible.
Yeah, it wasn't, at the beginning, we actually did not expect doors to open because we thought, we're not chemists.
Yeah.
How do you go knocking? You haven't sold anything, nobody has heard of you. But I think the second filler, chemist that we approached was very interested.
Yeah, we told them the story, what we're trying to do, options that we were trying to make available for women who look like us and consumers in the marketplace, and they were very excited.
Yeah,
but it wasn't easy to have those doors open. A lot of people would question, like,
and before you got to the chemist, so you both have MBAs, and I'm like not a business person at all. It's just sort of figuring out as I go. What did you do? Did you start with a business plan? How did you just sort of come up with that initial plan to even get to the chemist?
Right. So I think for us, we wanted to understand the market first, what the gaps were. And we knew that, the number one skincare concern was hyperpigmentation.
Okay.
And, that also ties to using sunscreen, because if you don't use sunscreen to protect your skin, you get more. It's like, it was like a vicious cycle. Yeah.
I love that you lead with that, because I do all this stuff as a dermatologist to like chemical peels and topical, like either hydroquinones or azelaic acid. And then people don't wear sunscreen. It drives me nuts. And especially those of us with more melanated skin, we're not used to wearing sunscreen. And so you have to educate people that this is part of treating hyperpigmentation. So totally agree.
Exactly. And that's part of the reason we have a blog, and it's a big deal for us. We actually, really write a lot of educational, materials about, wearing sunscreen, why, in spite of our melanin, we have to, so I think for us, we just really had a plan to start with a face line.
Okay.
But then, we knew it was going to take at least over a year and a half to get to that point where we have the finished product. So we actually look for like what we call low hanging fruit, in the sense that, dry skin is another major area of concern, for people with, darker skin, because it's more obvious when you have dark skin, because of the melanin. So we actually launched our line with a 100% pure shea oil line. Because we knew a lot of people, we included, use shea butter. But, it's sometimes the heavy wax in it makes it difficult to use. So, we worked with a formulator to come up with a formula that retains the oil, without the wax, so that you just use the pure oil, which, has all the 100% moisturizing, ability, is better absorbed. So we were able to do that a little faster while our SPF was being developed. So that was our plan. And then we were able to launch cleanser, toner, and SPF, because we were thinking of a complete regimen. Like if you think about your AM routine, something to get you out the door. So that's the roundabout way we got to our sunscreen. But yeah, it was
excellent. And then how did you come up with the name for your skincare company?
Chinelo.
So it's from the word emboldened. Really, it is. And it's really our mission. We really wanted women that look like us to be comfortable in our skin. So, take up space. You deserve to have options. So that's really what it is. We want to embolden women to embrace the beauty that they're born with. And exactly. And you deserve. So that's really what it is. We love the name, and we shortened it to Bolden.
I love that. Such positive messaging. Stuff like
Yes, I mean, it was really all about creating an aspirational brand, in packaging that, is something you identify with, with high performance products. It's at the time, there was nothing like that specifically catering to, Black women or just, women of color. So that's why that's another reason we named it Bolden from Embolden.
I love that. So now you found a chemist. How did you know that the chemist was the one? Because sometimes we have to kiss a few frogs.
Yes. I think we I think we stumbled on a list that had like some of the best chemists at the time I lived in California, in the California area. So that's how we sort of narrowed it down. And then we started calling and speaking to, the lead, I guess,
salesperson,
like a salesperson. And,
and
then they brought us in.
person.
They actually had us visit.
Yeah.
And then we saw their facilities. And I think we saw some of the brands there. And we were like, no, we're going to be in great, fantastic company. So so I'm so glad that I happened to live in California at the time, and we were able to visit before we even started formulating. Because if we didn't identify some of the really, great brands that we saw, then it might have, we just knew we were in good hands. And they had like really state-of-the-art facilities and chemists with, great experience that have been doing this for,
I think that was the key. The chemists who had the know-how and also willing to listen to what we were trying to do. So if you think of our sunscreen, we wanted to have a really simplified routine. We really didn't want, if we think of who our ideal customer is or who our customer is, someone on the go who isn't used to wearing sunscreen. So we wanted compliance to be, top of the mind was compliance. And the way to get compliance is to make it a beautiful moisturizer. So it's as easy as wearing your favorite moisturizer, so you don't forget. It doesn't seem to be a chore. And then, it's something that you're constantly reaching for. So that's how we went about sort of like top criteria for our sunscreen.
I love that you use that word compliance, because we use that a lot, like in medicine, practicing dermatology, because people don't get better if they don't comply. So sometimes you have to trick them.
Exactly. And that's part of the reason we had it be a 3-in-1 product. So, because some people, they don't want to use several products to achieve the same goal. So we said, okay, this is helping you address hyperpigmentation. It has vitamin C. It has SPF 30, UVB, UVA protection, and then it's also a good moisturizer. So it covers. You don't have to feel dry after applying your SPF and then use another moisturizer, or use 3 products just to get the same, benefits. So
Excellent. So let's break it down. How did you choose SPF 30 versus SPF 50 to start? And then let's talk about how you got your key ingredients.
Right. So SPF 30 versus 50, and that refers to the UVB rating, not the UVA rating. So SPF, so we looked at, how much coverage you get with an SPF 30 versus SPF 50. It's SPF 30 is 97% protection from UVB, and SPF 50 is 98%. So it's more, but it's really minimal. And we were thinking of, who your ideal customer is, someone who isn't wearing sunscreen. So we're thinking of a formulation that will be light enough and easy enough that they will enjoy wearing it. So we were really thinking of getting people used to the idea of wearing sunscreen, and SPF 30 formulation got us there.
You were thinking about sort of the elegance of the formulation, the aesthetic.
Exactly.
And then also, sometimes there's this thing about numbers, especially for people who are not familiar with wearing sunscreen, where already maybe you know, they don't think they need sunscreen. So you want to start with, and especially if they're thinking about numbers and, oh, this one has more chemicals than this one. So you just want to start to ease them into at least the basic, care that they need. So, it's all part of what went into our thinking at the time.
Yeah, and it has changed. Ndidi and I were talking about it this not too long ago, how when we meet customers, initially when we ask people, do you wear sunscreen? It might be 1 in 10. In the 6 years that we've been selling this product, it's more like 5 in 10, 6 in 10. So I can see the messaging. Part of it is also social media, that people have access to this, and everyone's telling you wear sunscreen, even if it's for vanity reasons, just so you don't have black spots after you have acne. But we're seeing a whole lot more compliance, and people are comfortable wearing sunscreen.
So are you seeing more women of color educated in the use of sunscreen? What are you seeing, like the changes? Is your company also involved with some of that social change?
Definitely. We've always led with education, telling people why they need to wear sunscreen and the importance of sunscreen. A lot of times it's easier to get them to wear it because it will help them for vanity reasons. It'll help your skin look better. But if I get you to protect yourself, sort of like tricking you, and you're looking good, I'm going to take a win. A win's a win.
Yes.
So that's really been the easier route to do this. But again, like in May, when it's Sunscreen Awareness Month, it's always a good opportunity to remind people. We encourage all of our subscribers to our newsletter to visit a dermatologist at least once a year. And we definitely feature the importance of, doing a skin check. Catching it early makes all of the difference. If you have a growth or something that could be melanoma. But, we try to provide the information in the most palatable way.
Yeah, there was that viral video. You remember that from a few years ago, where they showed this elder lady that had like a smooth face, and then her neck, and it was like that was really.
Even the one where I think it was a truck driver.
Truck driver.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, truck driver. So the window side of his face was significantly showed more aging.
And there's one that I have a direct relationship with. I keep telling anyone who hasn't grown up in Africa that if you see women that are selling vegetables and fruits in an open marketplace, if say they are like 30 years old, right? And if you bring them and compare them to someone of a different similar age in the US, they could probably
spend as much time outdoors.
Yeah,
they just look much
think
older.
that they were 20 years older, because that's what direct exposure to the sun, it breaks down your skin, so
I want to say that there's always an aha around that when we point that out, because people see that, especially if you're from the continent or you visit and the whole open air market that we have. They never make that connection. This could be my mate, but because she's spending all her day under the hot sun, she looks like my mom.
Yeah, it's interesting. We, as if we have melanin in our skin, the darkest skin tones can have up to like about an SPF of 13, but we, from the American Academy of Dermatology, recommend at least the SPF 30, which we have. So that is a significant difference, even having a lot of protection that's native in the skin. Right. You have to get beyond that. So
then the length of time they spend outside too. So if you're spending your entire day you know, from sun up to sundown.
Apply.
Yeah. And I also applaud you for your social awareness and your campaigns during Skin Cancer Awareness Month. Something personal to me, because I found my own skin cancer during COVID, which I may have even let go had I not been so just sitting at home watching TV and paying attention to my body. And in darker skin types, African descent, African American, people of color, melanoma, the most deadly, is more common, as you know, on the hands and feet.
Exactly.
Mine was on my toe. Fortunately, it was one called a squamous cell and not a melanoma. It still required surgery for the removal. And we have to think about there's also genetics involved, and that's always related to sun exposure. And as you were saying earlier, Chinelo, as you recommend everyone to get like a screening once a year, I'd love to hear that, because there's a genetic component to it as well. And people don't even think about their hands and feet. And we don't even think about hands and feet in terms of applying sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Yeah, so that's part of the awareness. And then unfortunately, those locations are more deadly as well. They're more aggressive and lead to more morbidity, mortality, loss.
Yeah. I like to, you know, we also mentioned, I mean, Bob Marley is the most famous, you know, Black person that, you know, had skin cancer, and it's quite aggressive.
So, yeah, it was really aggressive.
So we'll bring that up,
So you've got the SPF 30. We're going for elegance and formulation, but now we need efficacy. So you sought out some active ingredients. Now, let's start with the vitamin C, because that's a mouthful. Do I let you say it, Chinelo?
Yeah, it's the tetradecyl hexyl ascorbate.
Perfect. Okay, great. So
that stuff.
that's excellent. So
yeah, so you know what it is.
Specialized type of vitamin C. So sort of tell us about it and why you decided to go with that.
Yeah, so vitamin C is notoriously unstable, and especially if you're formulating in a sunscreen. So the beauty of THD is that it's quite stable and it's oil soluble. So we wanted something that would stay stable in the formula, so that when people used it, you wouldn't have degradation. That's really what it was. It was, you know, state of the art when we were formulating, and we were happy to include it in our formulation. So it's really about the efficacy and stability of the vitamin C.
Yeah, and you guys are on trend / ahead of the curve with this formulation, because now we're seeing vitamin C and its derivatives in sun care. And this is the year of, you know, putting antioxidants like in it. It's like, oh, okay, why wouldn't we put our skincare in our sun care?
Exactly. And first of all, it also enhances, it actually boosts your sun protection.
Yes. So vitamin C is one of our powerful antioxidants, and we know that that can help boost the SPF. So absolutely.
Yeah. So like you said, we were ahead of time.
Yeah, so we're totally like ahead of time, like with that. So that's amazing. And then you also chose to put squalane in there. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's really, you know, back to the elegance. We really wanted a one punch done type formulation. So something that applied really easily and had sunscreen benefits, had skincare benefits in it. So it's your one and done. And we really loved how elegant it was. It took us a while to formulate. You know, sunscreens are FDA regulated and have to be tested. So it took a while, but it was well worth the time it took to formulate.
Absolutely. And Squalane is one of my favorites. It's in my TRNR Skin moisturizer. As you guys know, I'm also co-founder of TRNR Skin, my own brand, and I
Yes.
love it. So I put it in my moisturizer. For those listening that don't know what Squalane is, it's sort of like it's a lipid, something we also call biomimetic, so it can approximate what the natural
Yeah.
lipid ceramides
Yeah.
do in our
Yeah.
skin. So it's very soothing, it's elegant, it's moisturizing, it's anti-inflammatory. So it's a great choice to pair along with your sun protection because we're out there, we're getting inflammation from the UVB. So we want our skincare to also be some of our treatment while we're being exposed sun. And the vitamin C you picked is nice and stable. It's an antioxidant. And what antioxidants do is they help protect us against the free radicals that are causing damage to our skin and causing inflammation. So you have that covered too. And then you have another key ingredient, the safflower oil. So tell us about that one, because that's a little bit more unique and unusual. Does that have a story? Was that something personal?
Well, we were looking for something that wasn't going to be comedogenic. So that was, a lighter oil, again, for an elegant formula that wouldn't be greasy. So even though the formula is really moisturizing, it's not greasy. And part of the reason it's not is really the ingredients that we selected in that formulation.
And I second that. Is a fabulous moisturizing sunscreen. I'm just getting back from vacation in Bali. So I
so jealous.
right on the equator.
So jealous.
It was perfect.
That's awesome.
It was really like fantastic because humidity is high there. I have oily skin. So at first, like, I'm looking for something that might be like a little bit more like zinc oxide base and something that could be a little bit more matting and drying. And this was great for me. It was elegant, even with oily skin.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You nailed it.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Our job is done.
You may have your business backgrounds and both have your MBA. You really know your skincare, your science, your choices, and you clearly did your research. So thanks for sending that along to me. That traveled in my to-go bag.
Yes, yes. We want it to be practical, convenient, and effective. That's really,
So you really,
we really are all about accessibility. So it's, we're very proud of the line that we have, but we're even more proud of the price points that we sell them at.
Very good point, because when I was like formulating our brand, that's something that is very difficult. You try to reverse like engineer, determine like all your sourcing, but try to be as sustainable as you can, as environmentally conscious as you can. Do you want to talk about the challenges like of that in order to make something accessible?
Yeah. So it's, the a lot of the ingredients in your formulations could get quite pricey, and a lot of it informs the pricing on your favorite skincare. But also, part of this was a love letter to our community. So our goal really wasn't to make the most in margins. So that's why we purposely priced it how we priced it, knowing the quality of the product, but still making it, accessible for, the market that we serve.
Wow, good for you. I love that, because I know like some of these ingredients, like that vitamin C, are not cheap. And
they're not cheap.
Yeah, so all of these things like go into like the thought processes. So it's great that you put accessibility first. So I love that. What products might be on the horizon for you in sun care?
Yay! So we love, this is like the best. Yeah, this is the best part of it. We love the product development process. That's actually our favorite favorite part of our work. And, you know, we want to provide more options, you know, like SPF 50, you know, gives you a little more protection. But I know that some people are, you know, some of our customers are sensitive to chemical sunscreen. So I wanted to make sure that we, you know, provide other options. So we've been working on a formulation for a physical sunscreen that is usable. You know, we have the whole zinc oxide, white, leaving a white cast, and, you know, just how to resolve that, or how to work with, in spite of that, still come up with, you know, formulate an SPF that will be used. And we've worked for a while on this, you know, but eventually I'm happy to announce that we have finally
have a
found
formula that we love.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's tinted. It's going to be a tinted mineral sunscreen. But the good thing is that it's a tint, because sometimes you hear tint and you apply it and you're as bright as Casper. But yeah, no, we've managed to find the right formula, you know, that where it's wearable, you know.
Very wearable.
Yeah, it spreads. It's not a thick spread, you know. It's thin enough that, you know, you don't have to keep rubbing it in, you know, to get in fact, you just apply it, and within less than 10 seconds you have, you know, you're able to apply it across your skin.
It's SPF 50, it's mineral, so it's again providing options for people who current formula might not work for. And it's not heavy at all. So again, you know, we know that the best sunscreen is the one that you wear. So we pay so much attention to the elegance of the formulation, making it wearable. And that's really what, you know, has kept us going back to the drawing board. Ndidi, what sample are we on?
Oh gosh. we've
might
actually
be sample number 7.
Three different companies. But you know, we also want to, like we said, we're beginning to think about, you know, expanding, like you talked about, you have to cover your entire body, not just your face, you know, your hands, your toes, you know, anywhere that is exposed to the sun. So we're also thinking about an SPF 50 body oil.
Absolutely.
Especially in the summer, you know, a lot of people with brown skin love to glow in the summer, especially when they go to the beach, you know, they're in the water. They like to be, you know, to look good in their skin. So, you know, it's also good to protect your skin. And an SPF body oil would, you know, be easy to apply and, you know, would help to achieve that. So yeah, so we've started to work on that.
We're expanding our sunscreen.
I love that. Excellent. I love that even with that detail that you're saying, Ndidi, that, you know, people love oils, and then Chinelo, you're saying the best sunscreen is the sunscreen you wear, that you're really being conscious, like, of your community about what's going to allow people to be compliant, which you discussed earlier, like, as well. So it's great to have options, because we know as dermatologists we'll oftentimes recommend a physical sunscreen like a zinc oxide or titanium dioxide to our patients who may have sensitive skin. They can't use the chemical sunscreen. So that's excellent that you're working also like on a formulation that's tinted, that's not going to leave a cast, because that is quite a task. I'm trying to solve myself, but it is quite a task. And what's also super impressive, like, about you too, is that when you're working with melanated skin, it's not just a tint. You have to worry about the undertone to match it. You can't just like put a tint on there and then you just white it out. Same thing.
No,
and we had to test
colorists too.
Exactly.
So we had to test different tones. We had to test different tones to see how this, you know, actually looks on different skin tones. And we narrowed it down to 3 that would cover most tones. So
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
I am super impressed. You guys are budding scientists. You may have degrees in finance and marketing and business, but I'm very impressed with your ease of discussion with all of these scientific and dermatologic problems. Really,
we enjoy. We love what we do. We love, you know. A friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while, she's like, "Oh my God, you know, Ndidi, someone in her family absolutely loves Bolden. You know, she's like, you're changing people's skin, you know." And I was like, oh,
that's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it, you know. And we do get a lot of letters, you know, letters, emails. We actually get handwritten letters, emails. And then when we go to shows, we get hugs. We get a lot of hugs.
Wow.
Yes.
Celebrities.
It's so fulfilling when you actually meet the customers and it's all love. So many hugs. Can I hug you guys? Oh my God, of course.
Well, your success is clear because it's personal for you, and you put all of that into the formulation. So I'm glad you're also getting that feedback from the community, like, as well. You guys recently, or you are in Walmart, like, as well, because we talked about like the community and getting access. Tell me about like how you got in there, why there was a challenge. I'll leave it there.
Let me tell you, it was in our inbox. Walmart got in. Walmart got in our inbox.
Oh.
And I was like, Ndidi, I got this email. What do you think? We didn't respond. They had to follow up.
Wow. Wait, because you felt like, was this like for real? Or was
it was a bit of that too, you know.
Okay. You were just like, is this happening? Oh my God.
Imagine.
Okay.
But I think, you know, when we finally realized, wait, this is a buyer at Walmart, you know.
So we responded.
It's just that we were thinking price points, you know, it may not be a good fit, but then they were able to come up with a solution, that worked. We're reaching more women. And Walmart has done really well with skincare, you know. They have a lot of options.
Oh yeah,
I would say Walmart has been a great partner for us. Just how they brought us in, the flexibility they've had with us, and I think the ability for us to package, because we have a basics kit that's doing really well at Walmart, and it's like an intro to the brand. So it's smaller sizes, allows you it's a lower price point, so it allows you try out the brand and then reorder the full size when you had the
love that.
So
I
that has been
on your website, and I think it's like a nice little travel pack too.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know, it's expensive to try skincare these days, you know, and you know, you want to
make sure it works.
So with a little, you know, less commitment, if you can achieve the same goal, why not? You know?
Yeah. And then, you know, we've been able to launch. We initially started with $1,000, and then we expanded to $1,500 Walmart. So we're very excited, and we're you know, because the thing is, it allows you so instead of waiting for the product, you can pick it up immediately. And then, you know, when you're in a Walmart, you already have the intention to buy. So if it's right there, it's an easier decision.
Wow.
Yeah, some of us live so far away. I don't want to mention names. So it takes 4 days for Amazon to get to them.
That has changed.
Wait, where are you located?
That's Chinelo.
I'm in El Paso, Texas. So it used to be so annoying. Ndidi will purchase something on Amazon, and she says, "Oh, it's gonna be here in the morning." I have to wait 4 days.
Oh my goodness! El Paso. Oh my goodness.
Better now. It's better now.
Okay.
Amazon has been expanding, and I have a few items that they deliver in 24 hours. So it was a work in progress, and Amazon's taking over.
Are
you guys also available on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay. Amazon is actually a great partner for us because we are able to reach a lot of people.
Yeah.
Broad audience. Yeah, broader audience, because we like to say that our products work for
everyone.
If we treat the solution you're looking for,
it works for you.
Which it's not necessarily only for women of African descent, but that's just our target because that's our messaging is tailored for them. But if you have melanin, which a lot of people in the world do,
if you have skin, it will work.
Yeah, surely it's for everyone.
Exactly.
You into your community,
exactly.
But certainly the product is for everyone.
Everyone.
I mean, exactly. I love it. It's it's well packaged. It's nice. It's green. It's neutral. Because sometimes you got to get the right colors for guys. But I think it's like also great, for men as well.
So yes, men love our line.
Off the board, I think it's fantastic. You really killed it on the formulations.
Yeah.
So a question I like to ask everyone is, when was the last time you saw your dermatologist? I'm a little overdue, I'll be honest. But Ndidi, you the most recent?
Yeah, so sometime last November, I started noticing I had these lighter spots in my face. At first I ignored it, but I noticed it was increasing in frequency, and I freaked out because I said, wait, is this
hypo?
I'm sorry?
Hypopigmentation?
No. Before I even came up with hypopigmentation, I was like, oh, this looks like what do you call that condition that
vitiligo?
Yes, vitiligo.
Yeah, that can be scary.
I was like, this is probably how it starts, because I watched a story on social media some time ago, with a lady.
It started. Oh, I think we lost her.
Oh, do you guys lose me? Okay.
We lost you for a little bit. So start.
Okay, let me start.
Back. So you thought vitiligo?
Yes. I thought it was vitiligo, and I just worried that I didn't know what it was. And to be honest, maybe because I do skincare, it had been a while since I went to a dermatologist. Just busy life. But I went to see one, and she correctly identified it as hypopigmentation. And I realized, hey, I'm getting up there in age. And I know it's largely genetic. There's some, there's some geneticism in there. And, so she, just said I had to use more products that help with DNA repair and, moisturize more. And it would go on its own. She had also had it. And it's so much better. It's faded over time. So. So we actually had just launched a skin barrier cream that had a lot of peptides, ceramides. So I just started using it more, all the time, and it really helped. It helped a lot.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, and you talk about DNA repair things, of which there can be some dedicated skincare ingredients like potent antioxidants, your sunscreen with the vitamin C derivative. That's really important. That also can be found in some of the oil extracts that you have as well. So you also came up with a solution to your own skin problem.
Yes, she did give me some samples, but one of them smelled like manure. Seriously.
Which is also something you have to really think about when you're formulating, because it doesn't always come out.
Yes. Tell us about it.
And you have to either go back and find something to eliminate, or you always have to think about, do I put a fragrance in there?
And this culture of no fragrance
fragrances have been demonized. So
well, I agree. I agree with you. They have been demonized, and not all fragrance is bad. I mean, there's certainly natural fragrances that I will look for as preferential that aren't as sensitizing, i.e.
Exactly.
allergy. So agreed. We always will try to avoid fragrance. I think fragrance free is certainly the goal, but sometimes you can pull things from the natural world that can also help when you absolutely just can't mask something sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we think of the user experience. You know, if it smells terribly, then you would only use it if you have to. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you two, it has been a real pleasure. I'm super, super impressed with your science background, your know-how in the skincare business. I learned a lot of things from you. So maybe I'll come pick your brain if that's okay.
Any day. This has been such a pleasure.
It's so much fun to speak with you, Dr.
Yeah, no, it really is my pleasure. Like, don't be strangers. Like, if I can like answer anything for you just from like a dermatologist perspective, etc., I would be happy to. Just kind of curbside me, shoot me an email. I'll get you my contact information. It was a real pleasure, and you guys are doing amazing things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
We'll take you up on that.
Yes.
I do hope you will. I do hope you will. So you guys have a great evening, and hopefully we'll get to talk again soon.
You too. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure.
Okay. Bye-bye, you two.
Bye.